I want to talk about something that nobody in the ESL teaching world is being honest about. And I know this might be a little uncomfortable, but that's exactly why I need to say it. Today's topic is about a very specific type of student, the one who is on maternity leave but never tells you. The one who seems unhappy the whole class. The one who makes you feel like you did something wrong even when you know you didn't. The one who, for some reason, seems to dislike you more because you're a woman. I've had this student more times than I can count, and I want to break it all down for you, not to be mean, but because understanding what is actually happening is the only way to stop carrying guilt that was never yours to carry. So, let me start from the beginning. She books the class. She shows up. And right away, something feels a little off. Her background looks messy in a way she is clearly trying to hide. She looks tired, not the normal kind of tired, but the deep in your bones kind of tired that comes from weeks of broken sleep. She doesn't explain anything. She just tries to be normal. And then a few minutes into the lesson, you hear it. A baby crying. Not her. The baby. She goes off camera. She comes back. Her face is tight. She doesn't say anything about it. And somehow, by the end of the 25 minutes, you feel like you are the one who did something wrong. That right there, that is the experience I want to talk about today. Here is the first thing I want you to understand. She is not hiding the maternity leave from you. She is hiding it from herself.
Think about it this way.
Before the baby, she was a professional. She was building a career. She was learning English because it mattered for her goals. That version of her, the ambitious, capable, put-together version, she is the one who booked this class. But the person who actually showed up is running on almost no sleep, wearing whatever was clean, living in a house that currently revolves around a tiny human who needs everything all the time. She is not that professional version of herself right now. And telling me, a stranger on a screen, that she is on maternity leave means admitting out loud that there is a gap between who she was and where she is today. That gap feels private. In many cultures, especially in Japan and Korea where a lot of my students come from, you do not bring the personal mess into the professional space. You handle it quietly. You do not show the cracks.
So, she doesn't tell me.
She tries to hold it together. And when the baby cries and the cracks show anyway, she has to put that discomfort somewhere. And I am the only other person in the room. Now, let's talk about why she is almost always unsatisfied with a class. This is the part that used to really get to me because I would replay the lesson in my head thinking, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? And the honest answer is nothing. Because she did not actually come to the class to learn English. She came to feel like herself again. She came to have 25 minutes where she was not just a mother, not just someone responding to a crying baby, but a professional person doing a professional thing. And I cannot give her that. Nobody can. The feeling of being yourself again after having a baby does not come from an English lesson. It comes from rest and time and support, things that a 25-minute conversation class was never going to provide. So the class ends, she still feels the weight she came in with, and the experience feels like it didn't work. And because I was there, I get associated with the feeling of it not working. It is not fair. It is also not personal. It is just psychology. Now here is the one that really made me think. Why does she seem to have a harder time with female tutors specifically? When I first noticed this pattern, I didn't know what to make of it. But after a while I started to understand. A male tutor is just a person on a screen. He doesn't remind her of anything. But me, a woman who looks like she has her schedule together, who is on camera, who is doing her job, I am, without meaning to be, a mirror. She looks at me and somewhere in her exhausted, emotionally full brain, she sees what she is not right now. She is not choosing to feel this way. She is not consciously thinking, I resent this woman. But the contrast is there. She is experiencing a time in her life where her choices feel very limited, and I represent a version of life where choices still exist. That contrast is uncomfortable. Discomfort needs somewhere to go. And I am right there on the screen. So, what do I actually do when this student shows up? I do not ask about the baby. Not even something nice like, oh, how old is the baby? Or don't worry, it happens. Because she did not come here to be seen as a mother. She came here to not be defined by the baby for 25 minutes. The kindest thing I can do is treat the baby crying like a minor technical issue and keep going. Same energy before and after. No big reaction. No softening my voice. No changing how I teach. I treat her like the professional she is trying to be in that moment because that is actually what she needs. Not sympathy, but normalcy. And if she brings up the baby herself, I say something short and neutral like that sounds like a full plate, and then I move right back to the lesson. One sentence. That's it. No deep dive. And when the low rating comes, and it often does, I read it once. I note it, and I let it go. Because I know now what that rating is really measuring. It is not measuring my English. It is not measuring my teaching. It is measuring the distance between what she needed and what a conversation class could actually offer. Those are not the same thing. And the gap between them was never my job to fill. She is going through something real and hard. I know that. But her experience is hers, and my peace of mind is mine. I showed up.
I did my job.
The rest is not my circus. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for Japanese and Korean language learning content, fun ESL class stories, sometimes even the toxic ones, plus videos about pets, plants, and anything interesting I discover in my daily life.